Come, come, young one. Let me share with you the tale of the Smiths. Many eons ago, a race of beings called the Forgeborn were brought into this world. They were wild and fierce, and they roamed the world seeking carnage. A village in the land of Foroman became the subject of destruction, until the Smiths, who were strong and cunning, came to their aid. Unprepared, the Forgeborn were wounded and set out to spread the word to their brothers and sisters, who decided to test the might of the Smiths. In preparation, the Smiths gave the villagers armor, weapons, and the training required to defeat them. Thanks to the Smiths' guidance and wares, the Forgeborn were doomed to spend their days in captivity. Now that they had their newfound freedom, the villagers were finally able to expand their domain and to create kingdoms that were ruled by the Council of the Master Smiths. With focus elsewhere, the Forgeborn took advantage of the people's complacency and worked together to fabricate a weapon of their own design. Who was a near-perfect replica of a Mastersmith, was made to become a member of the Council of Mastersmiths and to disrupt the progress they had made. In no time, disagreements arose and the kingdoms were split. Thus became the Solorsmiths of the North, the Ironsmiths of the East, and the Shadowsmiths of the West. With their alliance in shambles, the Forgeborn were able to escape their bonds and were released, taking new forms to immerse themselves in this new world. But do not be afraid, young one. There is yet another tale that says we shall be saved by a new smith who will unite the kingdoms and defeat the Forgeborn once more. Oh, so the story goes.
What's good? Yo, welcome on in, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everyone is having a wonderful July 18th. We are over half of the way over with this month. and thus, obviously, there is some progress that is needing to be made for the Otter model, and we are on the way. We are doing a whole lot of things. Today, I learned a little bit more about attaching the clothes to the body of the Otter, so that stuff is kind of like relatively moving along with him. It's just not moving in a way that I am very happy with, so I still gotta work that stuff out, and we're gonna be doing that together on the stream today, because I don't think I have any homies to do Apex stuff with. So instead of shooting people, we're gonna be doing the 3D modeling and stuff, which is exciting. So hopefully you guys are excited for that. Big Booty Bob, love the name. Thank you for the follow on TikTok. Welcome in. How does one attach clothes to oneself IRL? Glue. A lot of glue. How's your leg? Not bad. Next Friday, I get the stitches out. So I'm looking forward to that. I think. I don't know. It's been a while since I've had stitches, so I forgot how that process goes. But yeah, I like this song. What is this? I like this, dude. What the fuck? Yeah, I like that. So I like this song. I don't know. What's up, Stinky? Also, how you doing? Is it Alan? What's up, Alan? Oh, fuck. I forgot to turn that thing on there. I'm here for emotional support. Oh, I have some bad news for you. What'd you do to your leg? My friend's brother-in-law was trying to open a container of blast media. So basically like sand, right? It's aluminum oxide beads. And the way that he decided to go about doing that is because it wasn't opening properly. The way he was trying to do it was using a palette knife, a metal palette knife. And he was like pushing really hard to try to like get the thing open. And it just, it's a smooth surface, a smooth like plastic surface. So it just went swing and it went right into my leg, like right through my leg. So I had to go to the urgent care and get stitches. He got prison shamed, basically. I thought it was a putty knife. Didn't I say putty knife? What did I say? Wait, what did I just say? I don't know. When he was describing it, he said it was a paint scraper. Let me see. It is. Here, yeah, it is a putty knife. You said palette knife? Oh, okay. I'm just retarded. My bad. That's on me. Here, hold on. Let me hop over here. Boop. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. My bad. Yeah, it's a putty knife. I keep on wanting to say palette knife. What's a palette knife? Palette knife. What is this? Oh, yeah, no, definitely not this. That would be impressive, honestly. If he cut me that bad with a palette knife, that's impressive. No, he cut me with like one of these things. Basically. Like he was trying to open it with this and it just went swing right into my leg. Yeah, it was basically pretty much just like this. So, that's fun. I'm going to miss the movement of the 2D character. Well, it should be better, theoretically, right? Theoretically. I don't know. I think there's definitely going to be some things I miss about the character, this character, but I think overall it'll be a fun time, though. You know what I mean? Yeah. Professional streamer, that's me. It's your boy. I do this all the time, full time. Quit my job at Starbucks to do this. So, was the corners jabbed into your leg? It doesn't look sharp. It's not really sharp. So it has this little like, I don't know if this is like visible on stream, but it's got this like, let's see, open image. Here we go. It's got this like edge right here. You see this like edge bit right here above my head? How it chamfers in right there. It's got that. It's just very thin metal. And like the edges are sharp. Like this isn't really sharp. Like you're not gonna really like cut yourself necessarily with this. But it if you are going full force, you know, it will do some damage to you. Enough that I did all that. So yeah. Fun stuff. The floppy little hair tough I'll miss. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I try to incorporate it with this guy, and maybe I'll try again. I just know that it wasn't working before. It seems painful now that I picture it. Yeah, I try not to picture it. I try not to think about it too much, if I'm being honest with you. Like, as far as the actual, like, event happening, like, I can talk about it. I just don't like to think about exactly what happened, because that just kind of fucked with me a little bit, you know what I mean? We need music. Oh, you know what might be some cool music? Hold on. Let's try this out. I don't know what this was gonna sound like. This could be cool. There we go. How long until this is done? It's done when it gets done. What's up, Blue? I don't know. I'm still learning things. I'm doing my best. I'm having to learn so much. Dude, rigging is crazy. Rigging is insane, dude. I'll tell you what. I'm not mastering it with this character. I might learn it more and more as I do some other projects, but I'm definitely not mastering it with this character. This character is going to get some baseline rigging, and then maybe I'll approach it again later. But, like, as far as, like, when I actually learn more and more about it. But as it currently stands, I'm getting, like, some baseline rigging stuff out of the way for this guy, so he's usable. But there's going to be a lot of stuff that I'll learn as I go along, you know? You've been playing ranked on Rivals, and I haven't ran into any toxicity yet. Feels weird. Proud of you. I mean, I hope that continues on for you, my man. I hope that continues on for you. Like I said, I don't want the game to die. I'm not, like, salty at the game or anything. I just have not been having a fun time with it personally. You know what I mean? It's not been a thing that I've been having a good time engaging with. Hold on one second. Sorry, had to answer a message. You've been cooking as Magic? She's the most fun I've had since Spidey. Magic's fun. Magic is fun. I just don't have fun playing, like, not Melee. I don't have fun playing, DPS, honestly. Like, I've never really gotten into DPS as a role for a lot of stuff. You know, I love doing supporting kind of roles, especially offensive supporting roles. And I just don't feel like I can really, I don't feel like a DPS role fits me very well. You know what I mean? Not that I can't do well with it. It just, I don't know how to put it. I don't have a big enough ego to play DPS appropriately. You know what I mean? What do you want to know, Foulplay? Most of your games on Rivals felt good, but the bad ones really leave a bad taste in your mouth. That's fair. So, like, it's like really low lows kind of thing. I totally feel that. You should run Ultron. Ultron is so boring to me. Like, Ultron is so legitimately boring to me. I don't understand how people have fun playing Ultron. Like, if you do, props to you. Totally props to you. I just genuinely don't understand how people have fun playing Ultron. There's nothing dynamic about that character whatsoever, and it's so boring to me. They had so many opportunities to make him dynamic too, which is why it's so unfortunate that he's just not. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, so here, I can put on the shirt and shorts. I probably need to play with the weights here. But I can bring these guys in here because I did bind the weights here. Also, I just saw your comment, amigo. A knife for pallets. Fuck you. It's not even what it is. If you're doing terrible in the game, you just swallow the pill and keep going. Fair enough, fair enough. Damage on Rocket has not been working out for you. It's just not really what you can do with him that much anymore. It's just really not what you can do with him. I don't know if they ever fixed the hit reg issue. He definitely had a lot of hit reg issues for a while. And it just like was really unfortunate for him. But I don't know. The bigger issue I just keep on running into with him was like to be in those positions is so much more difficult now because of the fact that you have such a reduced mobility. You know what I mean? It really hurt his character quite a bit. So I think you said you got the art mostly through AI, but I noticed it's made in separate layers. So you do zooms and add some animation parts of it. Was that done in AI? No. So there are a lot of AI elements in the thing. There's also a lot of elements that aren't AI. It's a mix of using AI with normal pictures and then going over it. It's compositing. So the way that compositing works, right? The way that compositing works is that you have image A and then you have image B, right? And then in order to make them, so yeah, you have image A. Hold on, here's your canvas, right? And then you have image A, and then you want to put like image B. What? Dude, I hate paint. God damn it. You have image A, and then you have image B, right? And they're both in the same thing, and you need them to look the same. Hold on, did this wrong. There we go. Yellow. And then blue. So you need both of these guys to look like they fit in the picture, right? So I could have one thing that is an AI like asset, right? And then I could have another thing that's just like an actual asset that, so a lot of what I use is Envato elements, and that gives me a lot of like stock photography and shit like that I can use, right? So basically what you do is that you take these things here, you arrange them in a way that makes it look like they were supposed to fit together, and then you add a filter over them that basically combines them as their own, as one image, right? So that's why those things, like you can't really tell the AI things from the non-AI things because they all have like filters and stuff applied to it that fit together. You know what I mean? So but the animation part, that's all just done in a bunch of separate layers, like really high resolution layers. So that way I can move around the scene and not lose the fidelity of it. You know what I mean? But it's a bunch of different fucking layers of it. What's up, Acorn? Can he move yet? Yeah, he can move. He can move. I'm just working on like some of the things that are breaking when he moves. So for instance, like he can move around and everything, right? But say I look too much off to the side here, you can see how like my shirt is clipping through, or my body's clipping through the shirt. I'm just trying to fix things like that, or like the way that this stuff is all going here. I'm trying to fix that type of stuff, but I don't really know what I'm doing, so I'm trying to learn what I'm doing at the same time. You know what I mean? I'm trying to learn how to do this stuff at the same time. Your voice is giving Markiplier. I'm not gonna lie to you. I did not watch Markiplier growing up. I did not watch him growing up. I have there's no nostalgia for me when it comes to Markiplier. Not at all. I think Markiplier is like one of the only fucking like OG YouTubers too that has not had some type of fucking like shit brought up against him, right? Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. Smith trying to get big brain? We trying. It's not going so well, but I'm trying. A week today and I'm officially an older? Hell yeah, Acorn. You gonna do anything fun for your birthday? Thanks. I know some compositing, so I get how to do it. Was curious on the art, but it's interesting. It's different pieces altogether. Yeah, no, it's a bunch of different fucking pieces altogether. yeah, there's a lot of stuff I had to learn about digital painting in order to be able to bring all that stuff together as well. And it's very similar to how we got the thing to work for the ceremony. The way that the ceremony works, it's very similar to that as well. C. Nanners hasn't had drama either. I have no idea who C. Nanners is, actually. I'm not gonna lie to you. Who's C. Nanners? What's good, Blue Shell? Apparently you're going out for dinner and getting a tattoo in the morning. Ooh, hell yeah. What are you doing for dinner? I already know what you're doing for the tattoo. Okay, so I need to figure out how this works. Okay, so I need to go to the bone groups here, if I remember correctly. Here we go. We have these bone groups here. And in these bone groups, I need to show... I don't think I show this, but I know I need to see the bones, like the actual bones. I don't know if the reference bones are going to be able to do stuff. Maybe deform. I think deform is actually the ones I need. Okay, so from here, then I can select this and the armature and go to pose mode. No, I need to go to, fuck, hold on. I actually need to select this and then the shirt, and then I can go to weight paint. And then I can select these bones and do the things. Okay, here we go. Now I'm remembering things. Okay, so first of all, let me go to my tool, which is this. Let me activate symmetry. Auto normalize is already on. There we go. Okay. So part of the issue that I'm running into, for instance, is with the turning. Oh, hold on, there we go. So let me rotate this guy around like this. And I feel like I should be able to make that movement without it causing an issue like that. So now I got to figure out how this is causing this issue here. So let me try this weights and we will smooth. I'm actually going to right click this and add it to quick favorites. So now I can just quickly smooth things out here. Add a bunch of iterations of that. Okay, so what about this? Smooth this up a bit. Same thing with this one. Smooth this out a bit. I think that's what a lot of this winds up needing. It's just a lot of smoothing of the weights. Not sure details are being hidden from me, and your sister's got your partner hiding something from you too. I mean, that's fun though. I think that's fun, you know. Sometimes it's good to not know all the things and just let your family like take care of that type of stuff. Family and friends take care of a lot of that stuff for you. You know what I mean? Any advice for playing Rocket and Marvel Rivals right now? No. Not really. I don't have much. I haven't really been playing. You did not? What did I not do? Yeah. I haven't really been playing that much, if I'm being honest. It's just, it ain't been my game. You know what I mean? Would you tattoo your otter? So they actually do kind of have tattoos. Funny enough. Funny that you should mention that. They do technically kind of have tattoos integrated into their culture. It's all through staining of the fur, but they do have tattoos as like a thing for them. Funny enough. Let's see what happens if I paint this. Is that adding too much of an issue? I think it might be. What if I get... Oh, shit. I mean, doesn't the model have Filthy's name tattoo on his foot? That is true. That is true. I do technically, I guess, have a tattoo. I do technically have a tattoo, I guess. It might not be very lore accurate, but I think it's definitely earned. Tip for Rocket: run while you can. I wish I had something to tell you, man. I just ain't been enjoying the game, so I haven't been playing it a whole lot. So honestly, I will say this biggest tip I can probably give for rocket stuff is still, hey, make sure you're working on your movement. Movement's still a huge deal, obviously. So make sure you're working on that. And I still do have that movement video. A lot of it is still very relevant because a bigger part of what makes his movement is his stuff like the wall climbing and doing the wall boosts and stuff. And if you don't know about how to do that, then that's a huge part of it. You know what I mean? There we go. Let's smooth a lot of this out here. There we go. I don't know if this needs to be included in here. It looks like it's helping though. Maybe less there. It's kind of hard to tell. Well, let me take a look at it on this right here. Rocket's still a little fun. I'm sure for the right people, he's still a whole hell of a lot of fun. I can't imagine he wouldn't be, you know what I mean? Oh, is that doing the wrong thing? That might be doing the wrong thing. Oh, is it causing more issues here now? Huh. No, I need this. Okay. How's this looking? You loved boost off spawn and domination games off the doorways? Oh, he has a lot of little tricks like that. It's really fun to be able to do it when you can get it down. I feel like I almost want to just get rid of this completely here. Like maybe this doesn't need to influence the shirt at all. I think I saw a thing that was here in the quantize. I don't know if that actually did the right thing, but maybe. It was good, Tio. Did you learn how to model professionally or online? Online. I'm completely self-taught. For better or for worse. Oftentimes for worse. If you guys have any ability to go to school for stuff like this, do it. Do it. I kind of wish that I would have taken advantage of some of the things to be able to go to school for this. Honestly, I probably wouldn't have gone to school for this particular thing. The thing I really wanted to do 3D wise actually was get into what's it called? I really wanted to get into environment design. So I am kind of excited to be able to start doing that again. Like when we start designing the forge. I am really excited about that. But character design was never something I was that interested in. This has opened my eyes to a lot of stuff though, for sure. That's totally fair, Ralph. It's a good skin. It looks really cool. I love symbiote skins too. I'm a big fan of the symbiote stuff. Maybe I need to add more here from that. I don't understand why you're doing this. Maybe I just need to bring it out some more in general, you know? Oh, wait, is this symmetrized? Interesting. What if I do this? That a little bit more back to here. Trying to figure out how to fix some of these issues here. Mysterian, thank you for the 90 biddies, dude. I'm gonna just drop the rest of my bits here. Thank you. I appreciate the drop off service. Amazon appreciates it as well, I'm sure. How you doing, dude? Am I making a game? Eventually, I would love to. Eventually, I'd love to. I think what I want to do currently, the way that I have it worked out in my thick skull, is that I want to work on getting this character set up, right? And then by learning how to get it, by learning this character and how I can set this character up, through that, I can learn how to do the necessary things in order to at least like start working on a project, right? And by doing that, it will allow me to start getting more into development as a whole. It is DK. Look at you. Look at you. You got an ear for it, dude. Yeah, through that, it'll help me get a better understanding of development as a whole, right? Understanding some of the processes that goes into everything. So I can be more aware of what it all will actually entail. It'll help me not get overzealous and not too ambitious, you know what I mean? Which is for the best. And it'll help prepare me for the stuff that I need to know, like that I know that I will need to practice. You know what I mean? I think that those are some of the big takeaways of what I'm going to try to get from this whole experience as a whole, you know? So eventually I would love to start making some games. I have an idea for a couple different games, or at least like the type of games. The actual thing I need to work on is like how it actually will come through, but I'm sorry to hear that, Sloth. Damn, dude. Man, we've had a couple people that have lost their cats recently. I'm sorry to hear that, brother. I hope that you get through that quickly, man. That's such a shame. I'm sorry, brother. Everybody hug your pets. Be grateful for what you have. Sorry you're going through that, Sloth. I really don't know how to fix some of this stuff here. Let's go back into here. Let's go back to pose mode. Oh. Let's go back to pose mode and reset this. What I think I'm going to do is drag out some of these points here. So let me go into here. Oh, let me go object mode, select this, sculpt mode. We're going to drag some of these things out. Make a D&D server. A couple people have asked about D&D stuff. Not completely out of the question. I have some ideas for some stuff, though. Make an eventual roguelike and all that type of stuff. The end goal is to wind up with something that is very action RPG. You know what I mean? I especially love parry systems, like good parry systems. And I would love to be able to develop something that includes a system like that. I think that'd be really fun. I will admit, though, that is definitely something for later on down the road that requires a lot more effort. I would love it to be like in a similar style to what I'm doing here, you know? So just knowing how much time and effort is going into this character, I know that it's going to be a lot of effort and time that goes into making everything else asset-wise. So I know somewhat of my limits at the moment, not completely, but a bit. Enough to know that I will need a team in order to make that happen. I'd love to have it all crowdfunded, though, if possible. I hate the idea of having to like make decisions based off of shareholders. I just really hate that that's a thing now, you know. But eventually, games and all that type of shit would be awesome to make. Honestly, the thing that I'm more excited about overall is starting to make cinematics with all this, though. You know, I'd love to start making cinematics that go with the lore stories, you know. Literal witchcraft, I'll stick to modeling and lighting. Those are the more fun parts to me. those are a lot more fun. It feels like with 3D, I keep on switching between having to do, like, I get to do some art stuff, right? And then I have to do some technical stuff. Art stuff and then technical. Art stuff and then technical. It's back and forth and back and forth. Right now we're in a technical phase. There might be an art to it, but overall it's very technical. You've been putting off learning for years? Oh, Mason, you got to get into it. Got to get into it. Start now. Start simple. Start off now. Start simple. Don't have too high of expectations. Just get into it and enjoy it, you know? Cinematics would be sick. That's what I'm saying. I have a lot of courses that I already have that I plan on, like, you know, watching and learning from to be able to make that type of stuff happen. So it'll come about. It will come about. It's just going to take a second. You know, it's going to take a bit for me to actually just learn how to do the things. But it will come. And it'll be fun. I think it's going to be really enjoyable. Okay, so I really don't want this stuff to affect my shirt that much. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select everything, do that. Let's go into object mode. I'm going to grab the shirt here. Let's go to weight paints. Let's start selecting some of these things here. And I think, let me just try this out. Go weights, add to quick favorites. Let's quantize it. I think that this is how you do this. Quantize. 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 Okay. So now, same thing over here. Yeah, so now, theoretically, if I learn something today, I can go into pose mode, I can lift up my foot, yeah, and it doesn't really affect the shirt at all. Which is nice. I don't really want it to, really. So, nice. Still looks like it's kind of affecting the shirt, maybe. Very slightly, which is not really much of an issue. What about the tail? Does this affect the shirt? It does. I don't want that. So let's go back into object mode. Let's select the shirt. Go to weight paint mode. And quantize. Let's get rid of all this stuff so that now if I go back into pose mode and I start rotating the things. Oh, that still got some stuff. Object mode. And weight paint. Interesting. I don't know what bone is connecting to do that. Video games are a great meeting of the artistic and the technical. I agree. How you doing, Jury? I think I'll just leave that. That should be fine. Fixing stuff frame by frame is just ugh. That's how I think of compositing and motion graphics. Doing stuff like rotoscoping can be a pain. That's fair. That's fair. That's a lot of shit going on all at once. All right, let's add the pants in here. And let's see how some of this stuff is moving with the pants. Okay. Some of this stuff I don't have to worry about too much. Like, for instance, as he's walking forward here, the leg is sticking out. I don't have to worry about that too much because technically, like, he's not going to have any of this under here to begin with. You know, some of the stuff I will probably worry about is like some of this right here. But this stuff, actually not even this stuff really. I don't have to worry about that because it's not going to be there. You know what I mean? So this doesn't look too bad overall. Yeah, I think it'll be mostly fine. If anything, let me do this and just fix this up a little bit because it is kind of weird and jagged. So let's go back to object mode, select this in the pants. Bam, go to weight paint. Let's figure out what's going on here. Okay, so this, let's Let's add a bit here. We'll just smooth this out quite a bit. Okay. Trying to understand how this is actually going here. Put some sunglasses on him. I gotta get there. He eventually will have sunglasses. He's got to fit. How you doing, Deck? That's interesting. Why is it doing that? I feel like it should not do that. Oh, maybe that's why. There we go. Nice. Okay. That's solid. Is it the same for here? It is. Cool. So for this, I'm going to lower some of this down. I feel like it's affecting... Oh, hold on. Let me go back to here. Select all. Ooh. Object mode. Oh, wait. What was the thing? What was that thing I needed to do? It was... View? Select. There's a thing that I can do that I can lock the modes. And I forgot what that's in, though. Couldn't connect, trying to reconnect. Oh, shit. Are we still live? Deck, thank you for the follow on TikTok, dude. I'm good. Just stumbled on your live and haven't been able to leave yet. Love that. Welcome on in, Home Slice. Welcome to the community. Will he have a fantasy gun? No, he'll have a gun. I'm just going to put a big sticker on it that says not canon. Basically like a label maker. You know what I mean? Label maker effect. Photoshop. See, label maker label. Yeah, something kind of like this right here. Well, it's got like this. I'm basically just going to have like a black label with elevated text that says not canon. And I'm just going to stick it on things that like it doesn't actually fit in the world, that, you know, it doesn't, it's not a part of what we got going on here. So it's not canon, but it is in the stream. You know what I mean? Not everything on stream is going to be in canon. What's up, Machinist? How you doing, dude? Gotta go. Good luck with your rigging. See you later, Sloth. Have a good one, dude. Sorry to hear about everything that's going on, but I hope that you get through it smoothly, brother. You have a label maker at work. I love it. Does it print out stuff like this? A Machinist? If it does, I might need your help. If you're down. If you're willing, I could, I would love to have just like an actual asset of that. That'd be super cool. A gun with a label saying not canon. Nice pun. Yeah. That's originally how it started off. But I thought it'd be funny to do that as well. Okay, so I need to figure out how to do the lock modes thing. Fuck, I feel like I've been seeing it all day. How to lock modes. Blender. In the edit menu. Edit. Lock option modes. There we go. Okay. That's where it was. Thank you, Liam. I appreciate it. How you doing today, dude? Okay, so here I want this to stay in pose mode. And then this, I want it to be in weight paint. There we go. So I can be like this. And we can smooth this out quite a bit. But then I can select here. And then... Oh. Maybe? Maybe? Character rig? That's in post mode still. There we go. Oop. There we go. Okay, and then I can select this again. There we go. Now I'm in weight paint. Okay. So I need to smooth this out quite a bit. I'm also going to get rid of it down here as much. I don't want it to affect as much overall. There we go. Okay, and then we'll smooth it out. So, ooh. Oh shit, smooth it out. And then we'll select this again. Smooth it out some more, I guess. Odd. Do you think environment modeling will take longer for you to model than it took you to model the otter? Theoretically, it shouldn't, right? Like, theoretically, it should be a relatively smooth process. Honestly, the thing that has, like, messed me up more than anything is that there's a lot of stuff that has not transferred well in the world of an updating Blender. You know what I mean? So I'm having to learn a lot of it based off of old tutorials in a lot of ways, and then just like transpose that. Or there's some things that just don't work. Like there's some things that just have not been working, and I just don't have the knowledge to be able to fix that. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just it's trying to figure that stuff out a majority of the time. That's been more the hard part than anything. Let's go to sculpt mode. I'm gonna drag this up a bit. This out. Make this just a bit bigger in general. That way the things moving around don't feel super weird. That's been more of my issue than anything, I feel like. Because there's a lot of stuff that I'll see a video for, and it's like, oh, this is like a super simple thing. This is how it works, blah, blah, blah. And then I'll try to do it, and it just doesn't work that way. So luckily, we've like, by streaming this stuff, I've been able to find people who actually know what they're doing and are willing to like help me out with stuff. Because otherwise, I'd be so lost. So absolutely lost. That's why I'm hoping that once I get to a point where I can actually just have this guy up and ready, I'll have enough knowledge that I feel like I can like confidently stream everything that's going on. Because part of the thing that scares me is that I really don't want to have like those streams where a majority of, like pretty much 90% of it is just me trying to figure out what the hell is going on with the model as a whole. You know what I mean? No, they do DK, they do. But a lot of this stuff is very like specific question wise, or I don't even know what it is that I'm looking for. You know what I mean? And that can get challenging when you don't know what it is that you're looking for, but you need the answer for it to be able to move on to the next step. It's more that kind of stuff. Okay, so I think that with this guy, let's go back to weight paint mode. I think that this is okay as is. If anything, maybe get rid of some of this stuff here. There we go. I think some of it is like overlapping. Because every project has its own problems to solve. Exactly. Yeah. That's mostly where a lot of that stuff comes into. Eventually you're going to change into this? Yeah, exactly, Tony. How long have you been working on this model for? It looks complicated. So because I've been learning from scratch this entire time, the answer is probably going to shock you. But realistically, it probably shouldn't take this much time. It's just a lot of it, like I said, I'm learning as I go. So I've been working on this model for like 2.5 years now. And like I said, it probably shouldn't take that long, but I'm learning everything from scratch here, from having no like background in this whatsoever to then trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? So that stuff just takes a lot of time to be able to learn how to do it, especially if you want it to be at the quality that I'm really trying to go for. You know, I could have just made like a super low poly version of whatever, got it like somewhat rigged up and everything, but I wouldn't have been happy with it. And I know that. I would have been back here anyway. So I kind of like told myself, hey, this is going to take a while for me to really get it down, but I'm really going to be happy with it once it's good to go, you know? I'm not going to feel like I cheated myself out of a better product, you know, that I just took the easy way. I want to actually learn how to do it, you know, actually learn, not just get by with halvesies. I think that helped out a lot. It's been helping out. It has its own, like, you know, drawbacks in a lot of ways, but it has a lot of stuff that really makes you understand all the work that goes into a lot of stuff for games as a whole, which is just invaluable to me. Like, it's just it's so helpful for me just to get a context understanding of what's going on in games behind the scenes, you know. 87 years. You're currently in class for rigging in Maya, and I want to know what was the hardest part of rig so far. So far, I guess it's just been understanding how weights are affecting the model as a whole, because there's a lot of things that just don't work the way that you would hope that they would. Like, I'm lifting up my arm and it's doing this, right? And it shouldn't do that. So it's just trying to like figure out why the things are doing the things that they're doing, and then going through and fixing it up, you know, without drastically breaking every other thing that you have going on. That's been my hardest part so far. But it's good that you're in class for it, man. I'm sure that you're learning a lot, and learning Maya is so great. Maya is a great program. It's just expensive. Benjamin, thank you for the follow on TikTok, dude. I do not have having a license to Maya money. Let's see. Maya Autodesk. How much is Maya? Yeah, so it's Maya is $2,000 a year, or $255 monthly if you go monthly. If you do 3 years, it's $6,000. For anyone who's wondering how expensive this type of software is, it's really great software. It's a phenomenal software, but I don't have $2,000 a year to spend on Maya. I'm already spending like just under $1,000 a year for ZBrush. $2,000 a year, and they say Adobe is expensive? Yeah. It's expensive. Yeah, I pay... So I pay for ZBrush. Oh, I guess they lowered it. Yeah, so I pay about $400 a year for ZBrush, $300 for Envato Elements, which helps out for a lot of the music and the stuff like that. And then also Adobe. I forgot how much I pay for Adobe, but quite a bit. I have the creative suite and additional things with it. So I pay a little over $1,000 a year to have all the art tool things. It's expensive, but it's what you need to do to be able to make it happen. So just how it be, you know, unfortunately. Let's see. Shirt. Rig. Let's go to the shirt here. Let's go to weight mode. Let's figure out what is causing this issue here. Okay, let's do quantize. Quantize. Should I quantize that? I think so. I'll undo that. Adobe is expensive, but I make money with it, so I gotta do what I gotta do. Exactly, foul play, exactly. It's expensive, but it also makes me money. Maya, on the other hand, I just don't have that type of money. Yeah, no problem, Cement. Have fun in class. So I really don't like what this is doing underneath here. So let's try and see if we can find the culprit of this. Oh, okay. So let's add a little bit extra here, maybe. Seems to help. Smooth it out. Oh, what did I just do? Oh, I just quantized it, huh? Was telling my boss I want to learn more 3D and Unreal Engine. He was like, the trick is learning while being paid. Oh, agreed. Totally agree with that. Yeah, no, that's some of the hard part. Because learning while you're not getting paid is so much more difficult. Unless you're paying for the class. That's just a different situation, though, obviously. Learning while also having to pay for the software and do a full-time job, like, that's not easy at all. I try to incorporate 3D into some of the stuff I've been doing lately at work, so I could just, like, also kind of, like, use it as an excuse. Not easy, though. Definitely not easy. Especially because I am learning, so there's a lot of stuff that does not go right. But I'm also trying to convince them that, hey, 3D is a good thing. Because there are a lot of really good stuff you could do with it, and I just don't know all the things yet, you know? Okay. I think that looks a bit better. This stuff could probably get brought up a little bit more. There we go. Okay. Now that we're here. It's not too bad. Why is my elbow so weird right here? Where is my elbow? Is this my elbow? This is my elbow. There we go. Ooh. We're just bending him all weird ways. Okay. That's not too shabby. How do I select you? Weird. Bam. There we go. Do you work for an animation company? Me? No, I don't. I do graphic design and some video stuff, but I don't do animation. I don't know. I know stuff about animation, but I'm not learned in animation. And I don't like specialize in any of that type of stuff. I do some motion graphic stuff, but that mostly has to do with keyframes and such. There are some animation properties that go along with that, but not in the same way as like animating a character. You know what I mean? It's just not the same. Here's a funny story. When building my Lego set, I ordered a piece replacement because I thought it wasn't packed into the bag. I did eventually find it. That ordered piece arrived today. That's fun. So how did you complete the build if you didn't have the piece? You cheated. How do you make the otter track your movements? It's a mix of having a bodysuit thing and with a bunch of trackers in it and a facial capture through an iPhone, essentially. I want that to have less influence on the shirt, I feel like. So I'm going to get rid of that quite a bit. Actually, I might just do this and then quantize it just to see, like, basically get rid of it. There we go. Okay, and then see what happens if I rotate the head here. Gives me like a little bit there. Does the head? Oh yeah, the head has some stuff. So let's do quantize on that. There we go. So that way I can rotate the head, but it doesn't really need to rotate the shirt around, you know? If anything, maybe I'll do this and I'll add just a very small amount. Very small amount. Just so that you can see that is affecting things, but not to the point that's like really causing a whole lot to happen. I don't want the whole shirt to like freak out every time I rotate my head. There we go. Okay, so if I do that, even that might be too much. Okay, so now, oh, that's too much. There we go. Some slight movement, but nothing crazy. Yeah, that works. Okay. It was hidden under the bag. I ordered the piece as a replacement just in case it was gone forever. Smith just slapping on Eazy-E's keyframes. I love going into the graph editor and like messing with the way that things are animated. I really do love that. There's a guy that oh shit, I didn't know that closed tabs. The more you know. There's a guy that I watch that I haven't really been watching his stuff lately, if I'm being honest. But oh fuck, what's his name? I think is it Ben Morrison? No, Ben After Effects. Maybe it's not Ben Morrison. Oh, it's Ben Marriott. Ben Marriott. This guy right here, I love watching his stuff. Why am I not subscribed to him? I must have unsubscribed because I definitely was subscribed to him at one point. But this guy does a lot of motion design stuff, and he does things for in After Effects quite a bit, and it's just really cool.
Place this magical pattern over your footage at a threshold effect, and it's dithered. It's that simple. But there's a whole world of nuance and different effects that we can create with it once we understand how it works and how to apply some small tweaks.
This guy's styles and the way that he does his animation is just so pretty.
Retro effects, captivating glitches, and a free project file. It's all here. What is dither? I hardly know. Dithering is a way to increase the quality of an image with a limited amount of colors, and we do that by introducing noise. So let's start with just black and white. This image is grayscale. It is
Yeah, really cool stuff that this guy does. Absolutely adore it. It taught me so much about motion design. Okay, so I have the pants and I have the shirt on here now, and I think I'm digging the way that it's working. Let's see, just like doing a little bit of a stress test on it, just to see how everything is working out. But I think it is working pretty decently. As long as the bones are actually bending the way bones are supposed to bend. Which I am, like, partly outstretching things. And like I said, some of the stuff here does not matter too much that it's breaking, if that makes sense, because, or like clipping through anything, because it's not going to be there as a whole anyway. Like this right here, he's not actually going to have these parts of his body anyway, so that's not too much of an issue. That might be a little rough. Maybe just get rid of it a bit on this piece of the shirt here. There you go. That's why we do these things. Go. Oh, inactivity in my live. Was good hungry. Oh, there we go. Oh. My live almost shut down. Here's a baby giant river otter, literal spawn of Satan. This guy? No, he's a stream otter. Different breed. Different breed. Still a spawn of Satan. But, you know, like, not quite the same thing. Oh, shit. Did I quantize it? Oh, fuck. Come back. You need to up your own graphic design skills. I'm mostly into focusing on the animation side of things, but I do see why I need to develop graphic design skills. It helps when you can make your own assets. That's the biggest thing. It helps when you can make your own assets to be able to do the animation stuff with. You know? It's part of the reason why I'm gonna be getting into like doing like music design and stuff too, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I could definitely just pull stuff off of like online kind of thing And that's how I've been surviving up to this point. But when it comes to making some of the stuff that is more tailored for the lore, I want it to be tailored for the lore. You know what I mean? So it's going to have to be something that I wind up making or getting someone to make. You know what I mean? That's another thing, though. Like, don't feel like you need to learn all the ins and outs of every fucking thing. Because at the end of the day, you really don't. Like, there are reasons why other people do the jobs that they do, you know? Just be good enough at the thing that you can at least communicate with someone about what it is that you're looking for. You know what I mean? Blue door or red door? Did you just ask me blue door or red door? Damn, you've been, like, stalking my videos, dude. That's crazy. I haven't had anybody ask me blue door or red door in a long ass time. What's up, Dark Soul? When you're making animations, make them do a little flip. I got you in Mundo. Do a barrel roll. I got you. I think first I gotta learn how to do a walk cycle, but then I'm learning how to flip for sure. That'd be cool. I don't know, like, anatomically, how would this guy flip? I think I would have to, like, hop on the tail and then do a flip. You know what I mean? Kind of like beaver style almost. I also really want something like this. I want, like, female chanting kind of thing. I think it's cool. Hey, give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Whew, God damn, dude. That's insane. Smith gotta learn female chanting next. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Oh, speaking of working on it. Hopefully it didn't get too fucked up when it was in the backpack, but I started refining this thing down.
Oh, I wonder what it sounds like at this. Hold on. This is probably gonna sound super fucked up, but I want to hear what it sounds like.
That sounds cool. I like that. Turn that off. Yeah. So, I mean, actually, it's like... But it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'm thinking about getting one made by someone who actually like knows what the fuck they're doing as far as 3D printing is concerned. I don't think I'm ever gonna like wind up. Well, that's not true. I was about to say I don't think I'm ever gonna wind up getting like a legit one, but honestly, I would love a legit one. That shit's just really expensive. I would love like a legitimate one. Oh, Edmundo, thank you so much for the follow on TikTok, dude. Welcome in. I'd love to have like a legitimate drone flute. But them shits is expensive. Super fucking expensive. But they're cool, man. I really like them. I like the way they sound. And for a while now, I've really wanted this character to have an instrument. I really wanted this character to have an instrument that he had with him, you know? Just to be able to have him like sitting on like a rock while a stream goes by, you know what I mean? Like basically something along the lines of here. Let me see if I can replicate this. Stream. YouTube. Just having where it's like he's like chilling out on a rock. You know, right next to a stream. And you're just hearing stuff like, how's this sound? Maybe. You know? And you're just kind of like, he's just out here and he's just like... You know, just like little stuff like that. I feel like the higher registers on this flute are having a really hard time. You know? Yeah, I have foul play. Yeah, this thing is not tuned up very well, but you get the idea. That's kind of like the thing I want. I'd love to be able to have that you know? Dude, I could do that. If I had like a good fucking like flute thing, I could do that for a whole fucking stream, dead ass. Just have my fucking character just like chilling out on a fucking rock with all those like water stuff going on, right? And just having that go, dude. Oh, especially, hold on, what if I do this? Like, drone D out. Oh yeah, this is perfect. Dude, that'd be sick. That'd be so fucking cool, dude. Are you kidding me? Oh, man. I'd do that for a whole fucking stream. I wouldn't even tell anybody. I'd just do it. Nobody would understand what's going on. I'd just come in here and fucking like meditate and do that type of shit, dude. That'd be fucking sick. Oh, man. I'm so excited for the future of things. I just gotta get this shit done. You're unsettled? Dude, it's so cool, though. Yeah, a buddy of mine got like a big boy one. He got a big old drone flute, and I'll probably wind up getting one of these at some point. But I would love to have like an actual wood one, something like this, dude. Oh, man, that'd be so sick. That'd be sick. I love drone instruments, man. That, like the hurdy-gurdy, great instruments. Love them. Yeah, I am, though, King. I am. We're working on this, dude. Working on this, homie. How you doing? Okay, so we got some of this stuff down. That's good. What is next? Let's do the necklace. Let's just make sure the necklace is moving around proper. Let's like this. Bam. You know what? Maybe not the necklace. I'm trying to figure out what stuff, how a lot of this stuff is going to work out. I'm not really sure. I think I got to add some bones to some of these things as well. And I just don't really know how to do that right now. So, let's see. I guess we can start off with the apron. So the apron right off the bat might have some issues. So that is not how that is supposed to work. I need that to be more connected. But the straps are also fucked up. Everything's dying. Okay. Yeah, you hear this in the background? That's just a bass flute, dude. I love that sound. The wood ones are expensive as shit, though. I think the wood ones are... Well, minimum is just too fucking pricey. Too expensive for my blood. Huh. Okay. I need to figure out how to make this happen. Maybe this is not a good starting point with the apron. Maybe a better starting point is the belt. Maybe the belt is a better starting point. Let me go into edit mode here, do this, and we'll separate this by selection. And we'll do this as, what is this? This is the cloth. We'll just call it cloth. There you go. Okay, so we have this belt here. I think what I'm also going to do, hammer belt. I'm going to attach this to the belt. Let's just do that. And then I'll probably do the same. The sheath, I think, might need to be different. But this also might need to be different. Yeah, it probably does. Hold on. Let's go into here. Let's do bam, 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 bam. Separate this out as bag, hip. Okay, we'll turn that off. Then we'll go this guy. And we'll do bam, 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 bam. And do this as bag, back. There we go. And now I have this belt here. So I need most of this stuff to not have issues when it moves. And right now it do. So we have this. Let's go object, set origin to geometry. Scale out XYs a little bit. It's not interfering with the shirt there. I'm gonna undo that. And undo it again. There we go. And I'm actually going to go into sculpt mode. Let's bring up our grab brush. Scale this up a good bit. Drag this so it's not interfering with that. Drag that in a little bit. Same thing with this side of the belt here. Go do something like, oh, that's really far off. Oh, he does have the apron on as well, so I'll have to keep that in mind. Okay, so that's fine. That should be okay then. Let's drag some of this stuff out. There we go. Ooh. There we go. Okay. I think I did grab some of this. So let's take this, turn off the topology mode. So that way we're just grabbing everything here. And we'll just drag all of this out a good bit. There we go. Anything, maybe lower this down a hair. It's kind of getting a little bulbous for no reason. And it's looking pretty decent. Okay, so again, I don't exactly know what I'm doing here. Let's see, I gotta figure out how to do this now. Okay, so there's all of this stuff that's associated with this belt here. I think. Is this associated with this belt? I think it is. Yeah, it is. Okay. So can I just clear all of this? Delete all groups. There we go. Okay. So now, just to be sure, if I am in here and I rotate this around, yeah, nothing happens. Okay, that's good. That's what we want. I feel like I don't want the belt to really move too much. You know? I feel like I want the belt to just kind of rotate around. But I don't want it to bend around too much. Trying to figure out how I want to do this. What's up, Caleb? How you doing? Unless I just need to set up certain bones for certain things. I don't know how to do this. This is another one of those, like, some deform, but some things don't. Do we come back to the belt, maybe? Let me see if I can hit up the homie. You happen to be around? I doubt he is, but we will see. I think he lives on the other side of the world, so. Let's do... Okay, so I at least know that the tongs here do not need any of this. So let me delete all the groups for this. Let me add in a bone for this. What's up, Wyatt? What is this? This is the new model coming to life here. Right now we're rigging it up so that way he has the ability to move. There we go. Do this. I think that's fine. Probably would be better if I added 2 bones here. Why is it so big? Need to be smaller. It's just very big. All right, let's put bone here. Just very, very big. Apply scale? No. Yeah, but homie, for what? I don't know how to do some of the things. So I was trying to see if I could get some help with that. I don't know how to make this thing look smaller. You know what I mean? It looks very big. Like, these guys look small. How do I make this guy not look that fucking ginormous? Bone. No deform? No deform, I guess. Just seems very large. Standard. Custom properties. I don't know. I don't know how to make it like smaller looking. You know what I mean? That just is like in the fucking way of every goddamn thing. How to make bones look smaller, Blender. Shift Control Alt S. Shift Control Alt S. This is not working out. Yeah, it's not really working. What the fuck? It lied to me. Medium? Yeah, because that just makes it bigger again. I just want it to be smaller. How odd. Oh well. That's fine. I will do it like this, I guess. It just feels like it's really shitty. Let's turn this on and put it into volume, so that way it just snaps inside the volume here. There we go, I guess. Same thing for that. And then we can take it and duplicate. This will go inside of this one. Oh wait, did I do that right? I did not do that right. This needs to go inside this. This needs to go inside of this. And then this needs to go... I can't even fucking see it, bro. Inside of this one. There you go. Yeah, it's just very in the way. And I don't know how to make it, like, thinner, I guess. You know? Control Alt S. Control Alt S. That doesn't seem to work. This is what I'm talking about. Like, this right here is what it's telling me to do. Control Alt S, but it's not doing the thing. Even when I'm in edit mode, it brings up this menu. That doesn't make any sense to me. Shift S? What about Shift Alt S? Weird. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to make that work properly. So, it's just gonna look a little weird, I guess. That's cool. Call this tongs. Okay. What can I do? Oh, stick? Oh, stick would probably work pretty well here. Yeah, okay. So we got stick. What about B-bone? No. Envelope. Wire. Stick. I'll go with stick. Stick works. And we'll put it in front here. There we go. I like that. Okay. So I can actually drag this into a better spot now that I can see that it is in stick form. There we go. Drag that there. Drag that there. I like that. Cool. That guy looks good. That guy looks good, I think. Oh, wait. Is that the right thing? Yeah. That is... right? I can't tell. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so it's good. So the tongs are good. So that means I could take... How do I bind this to this? Or is this just parented to this? I don't understand this. Is this... Fuck. God damn it, dude. This is what I'm talking about. Here, hold on. History. I had a video on this. A lot of drone flutes, admittedly. It's transferring. Rigging blender. How did he attach the things?
Rigging can get... For the first one, I'm using a character I made and axes. Then just select the armature, tab into edit mode, and you can select the head or tail of the bone, move them around with G, and extrude with E. Select your model, shift-click your armature, Control P, and choose armature to form with automatic weights. And you can do this...
Okay, so object mode, bam, bam, shift P, Control P? Wait.
model, shift click your armature.
Oh, opposite way. Bam, armature. With empty groups. Hey, look at that. It moves. It moves. Nice. I like that. I think I fucked up though. Hold on, I'm gonna undo it. Wait a minute. I fucked up. I might as well get this like set up now, right? So let me delete that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add an armature. Right? I'm gonna drag it out here for a second. Then we're gonna take this guy here. And I can... What about this guy? Okay, so I'll just name this Tongs. Right. I don't think I needed to do what I just did. I think what I did was fine, actually. And I'm dumb. Okay, we'll still do it. Okay, so stick. Bam. Put that in there. Grab this other part of the stick here. Okay, so we attached it to the top one here, which means it needs to go to the bottom one over here. Oh. There we go. Okay. Let's put that in front there so I can just make sure it's in the right place. It is. And then we'll select that and we'll duplicate it to right here. So I'll take this, put it there, then this and put it up here. So that's there and that's there. Okay. Now I go back into object mode, select this and this, and we'll control P and to armature deform. Okay, that seems to work. So these are the tongs now. Okay. I don't know if I did that right. I feel like I did not do that right, but maybe we're learning things.
Control P and choose armature deform with automatic weights.
I don't want
and
that.
You can do this if your model is multiple objects too. Just select all, then you'll need a different approach. The first way of doing this is by parenting directly to bones and avoiding weights altogether. But this only works if your model is made of a bunch of separate objects. Select one of your objects, then shift-click the armature and go into pose mode. Select the bone you want to parent it to, Control P, and choose bone. Now that object should...
Okay. Okay, I did fuck up. I did indeed do the thing and then fuck it up. Okay. So, still fucked up. Are the tongs going to be able to be used as tongs? Hopefully. Yeah, if I do the thing right, it should be able to. So, wait, what did he do here?
On. If you want doing this is by pair, but this only works if your model is made of a bunch of separate objects. Select one of your objects, then shift-click the armature and go into pose mode. Okay, so these actually need to be two separate pieces. Selection. Tongs and Tongs 01. That works for me. Okay. So we have this. Select the bone you want to parent it to, Control P. Wait. Click the armature and go into pose mode. Select the... Okay. So I need to select this. And then I need to select this. And I need to go into pose mode. And then I can select this bone here. Control P. And then parent to bone. Okay, so now this right here, if I go into pose mode, there we go. Okay. I feel like I might need to edit the pivot point, and I think that's part of the issue. So maybe I can go into edit mode here. Maybe this needs to be like right here, actually. So if I go into pose mode, oh, it's fucked.
Why did it get fucked? Something happened. I don't know why. I don't know what happened there. Is it because I moved the thing up? Oh, interesting. That's just like not right. I don't know why it's not doing that right. Okay, so now it's here. Let me undo that. Okay, so in pose mode, this is rotating on that axis right there, which is not what I wanted. Can I... Huh. So can I not move this in edit mode and have it like affect the thing differently? Is that not how that works? Can I not put that like right here instead? Object mode. I kind of moved it. And I don't know why. So I just need to set it up appropriately the first time. There's probably a better way to do it, and I just don't know how to do it. Let me just delete the bone here. Take the... Where the fuck did it go? It went all the way the fuck down there. Go back there. What's up, Zombie Craft? What's going on in here? Trying to rig this guy up. And it's just not going well. Because I don't know what I'm doing. Undo. Okay. Huh. How do I get it separated from the bone? Split? Separate bones? But then it moves the whole fucking thing down there. I don't want it to do that. That's sick. Just a model? What do you mean? What if I do this? Object, set origin, origin to geometry. Object, set origin, origin to geometry. Then, if I delete these bones, is it still okay? Turn this off. Okay, that's looking better. Cool. I should say what your plan is for it, what you'll use it for. Oh, it's going to replace this guy right here. I'm also going to use it for cinematics, possibly help like do it, like put it in some games, stuff like that. All the things. Sweet. Yeah, I'm excited for it. Okay. So, we do this. Let me add an armature again. Let me move it differently though. So, scale it down quite a bit. And let's go to this mode. Edit mode. I'm going to drag this here. We're going to drag this to right here. In front. Okay. So I think this is where I want this to be. Because that's got to be the pivot point, I think. So I'm going back into object mode. I select this. And then I select this. And I'm going to go... Actually, wait. I need to take this and go into edit mode. And I'm going to duplicate it. So that way I can have one there as well. There we go. So this is here and that's there. Okay. I think that this is how this works. It looks kind of right. There we go. Okay, so I have these two things here. And I think that that works out. So now what I can do is I can go to object mode. I can select this, go into pose mode and select this bone. And I can control P, parent to bone. And then I can take this, select this, go into, be in pose mode, select this, control P, parent to bone. And now whenever I move this one, yeah, it rotates on that. And there we go. We kind of have we have some working-ish tongs right here. Look at that. Your boy learned something. Okay. I think this is when I also add constraints. Limit rotation? I think it's limit rotation. So I can only... Okay, so that doesn't work. What about Y? Z? No. I might need to rotate the bone. Okay, so hold on. I also need to see how do I see the bone directions?
The bone you want to parent it to, control P, master. When you're tool setting, now you can start painting.
So he had this video.
If you watched the last video, then by deforms a little. I'm just going to reset the rotation. Add bicep and forearm.
So how does he show this right here? He shows like things on the bones. That is it face orientation? No. I know what that is. That's different. Origins? No. Relationship? No. Like, oh. No. He has it where it shows the direction that it's facing, you know? Now make a working order? We're on it. I could imagine it being a playable character in like a third-person survival style game. If only I like survival games. I might make one at some point, though, just for the fun of it. I don't understand how to turn this on, though. I don't... Did I answer you, Wyatt? I don't know if I answered you, bro. I don't know how to check the things here, to be honest with you. Item? Tool?
Or if you have bone properties open, you can just rename it up here. I'll name this hand. And for the fingers, it'll be quicker to use the bulk renaming option. So I'll just select all of them right here. I'll shift select one so that it's the active selection, and you can press Control F2. This opens up batch renaming, and you can change this to bones. I want to set the name, and I want to replace it. So I'll
exactly, DK.
And that should rename all of them. And then these two, I'll name thumb with Control F2.
Or like there's some things that people just know, and I don't know yet.
The leg. I'll press Alt-C to go into X-ray mode. I'll select the spine bone. Check it out like this. And if bone properties right here, and you can uncheck deform. And this just makes it so that when you do automatic weights, it just doesn't give it any weight. This can be spine, neck, and head. The bottom of the body, which is this sphere on the inside. And
like for instance, he just has this information here.
I think it's going to make it much easier to rig, and plus we can take advantage of some of the symmetry options when it's actually in the center. So let's select this, and in the end side, on the edge right here, and we can press Alt S to use the shrink and fatten tool to make a duplicate. We'll tab to go into pose mode, or you can change that up here. Do better deformation, H like that, and tab back into object mode. Now this is the topology that we had in the left to inset on the elbow to dissolve it, and then our shoulder topology, you can just press generate rig, and now we have this second armature that I gave. Look up some pictures on Pinterest and verts. And before I start editing this,
I don't know why he already has those
and I'll tab back into object mode.
Directions on.
Instead of adding loop cuts, you could always apply the subdivision surface modifier to
you know.
And I'm going to add a loop cut the X by 90 degrees. And let's just
I don't know how to do that.
Selected, so you can click that, go down to viewport
I've not zombie.
I'm also going to turn on names and axes.
Oh, that's it right there. Okay. Names and axes. So I got to go here. Viewport display. No. Here. Axes. There we go. Okay. Interesting that it wouldn't be X then. Interesting. Yeah, so I've not made a game yet. but that is why I am working
Let's look from the front,
to make it
tap into edit
happen.
mode, and we can start lining things up. So this
But you
is
gotta
the
learn
front,
bit
and
by
then
bit, you know what I
solid
mean?
view.
Oh, transform. Where's the transform? Item. He's an item. Transform. I don't have a roll, though. Oh, now I have a roll. Okay, pose. I don't understand why it's causing issues, if I'm being honest. But that is how I want it to be. Okay, what about this one? This one, we're in edit mode. I'm gonna roll this so that it, too, has the X facing this way. Okay, so theoretically that should work out. Object, this, and then constraints. Here. Oh, do I need to be in pose mode? Maybe I need to be in pose mode. Yep. Okay, limit Y and Z, but limit X. Interesting. So don't limit these guys? Oh. Okay, so I am confused. I really have no idea what the fuck I'm doing, actually. I'm going to delete this, and I will get back to constraints later on. Right now, I just want this to hold up. So, that's good. This moves with that. That's really all I need right now. Baby steps, y'all. Baby steps. I'm wondering, will this otter be playable character in a game, or is it just an NPC since you say that your character isn't a main character in the lore? It will mostly just, like, if my character is in a game, it's going to be an NPC. It's not going to be a playable character. Yeah. I have no intent on making him a playable character in any game. Maybe as an Easter egg kind of thing, but not typically as a playable character, no. Unless I'm the one controlling him in a world. You know what I mean? Maybe a merchant? No. Maybe not directly a merchant. Not like a typical merchant. You know what I mean? I'd say that you could find him if you worked hard enough. But, you know, that's its own challenge, I guess, right? Let's do this. Add an armature. Add another bone in here. Bam. I'm going to drag this. Let's go into edit mode. Drag that there. Take this and drag it down here. Bam. Bam. Turn this off. Put that there. Okay. Isn't too shabby. Okay, so this has its own bone here. I feel like is pretty good. So I'm just going to go here. Actually, let's rename this bone here to tong sheath. These are tongs. Tong sheath, tongs. Cool. Good deal. And so now that I have this together, I guess for this, I can do this. Set parent. Oh no. Undo. Shit. Undo. Who would be the playable character if they even exist yet? It depends on the game, I feel like. Fuck. Shit. Why is that not doing that? Yeah, I'm not exactly sure yet, if I'm being honest. There are a couple ideas of some people that I have that would be fun playable character types, but definitely not ready yet. You know what I mean? Object, origin to geometry. Oh, shit. Like one of the things, a lot of this stuff is like not super defined, if I'm being honest. But one of the ideas I had, for instance, was it was a scholar, if you will. It was a scholar that is trying to learn the ancient ascendant language, right? So we kind of talked about it before. The ascendant language is, I don't know what this means. Okay, so that did work, right? So the ascendant language is essentially almost like the way that the magic system works in the game, in the world rather. And in order to learn the magic system, you need to learn the language, or at least you need to learn enough about the language to be able to apply it correctly for the magic system to make sense. Oh shit, did I do that wrong? No. Okay, we're good. So the idea that I had, I'm still refining down the language, but essentially there's like this idea that I have that there's a lot of different words for the same idea in a different way, right? Because the ascendant language in my mind is like, it's the concepts of these things. It's not actually these things, right? So for instance, you could have a word for you could have a word that means fire, right? But depending on the way that it is applied or its meaning or its context or any of that type of stuff, like based off the way it's written, it could be fire that is to burn things. It could be a fire that is to heal things. It could be a fire that is to mend, like a fire that burns and smolders, one that burns to mend, one that, like, all these different ideas of the purpose of said fire. You know what I mean? Not just fire to be fire. A very unrefined fire. You know what I mean? I still am working on how that would apply, but essentially this idea that this like the scholar is going throughout the world and fighting these creatures to gain more knowledge. You know, will this be related to this myth story? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I also have another thing that's kind of Metroidvania-esque in my head of this kid that joins the Keepers of the Flame, like all that type of stuff, like all these things that lead into the story. It just kind of takes time and know-how. I don't really know how to do the thing right now. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of just stuck on that. But eventually, I won't be. Eventually, I will just know how to do the things. It just takes time. Hammer belt. Right now I gotta learn like the things that I can do before I learn how to make my own thing. You know, I gotta learn what my tools are before I can start crafting anything. And that's where I'm at the moment. I am learning my tools and understanding what it is that I can do in the first place. Let's do this in front. turn on the volume lock. Let's make this fit right here. There we are. Okay. Nice. And let's make this a stick, because I think it would just look more aesthetically pleasing right now. What's good, Cerberus? When's the book coming out? That's just a whole other piece of the puzzle. Honestly, that's a whole other piece of it. That's another thing that I would really love to be able to like work on and make happen, but that's another piece of the puzzle, you know? Let's see, let's take this. Let's separate that out as well. Hammer ring. And let's add edit mode. Let's put that right here. There we go. Then we can drag this piece out. Let's hide the hammer belt for a second. I'll put that right there. Okay. Object mode, we'll select this, and go to pose mode. Oh. Shit. Bam, bam. And we will parent to bone. Then select this and this. And control P, parent to bone. There we go. Okay. How do I get this to bam, bam? Can that parent to bone? There we go. Oh, that's not what I want. Fuck. What about horror game with one of the Forgeborn as the antagonist? Oh yeah, no, that's like when you asked, I think it was you that asked about if there could be a horror game from it. That's where my first thought went to. Something along that line. I don't have like an exact idea of how it would go yet, but that idea for sure. That's where my head went to, regardless. Damn. I gotta bring up the video game. Okay, let's see. He had all this stuff.
Pose mode. Select the bone you want to parent it to, control P, and choose bone. Now that object should follow the bone when you move it. This gets pretty annoying when you have to do it over and over again, so you can use this add-on to make the process fast by name. Then all you do is select the vertex group of the bone you want, select the body part by
how do I get to
hovering
link
over it
together
and
though?
pressing L, make sure the weight is to parent in the middle, and press Ctrl F2 to batch rename. Set this to good for shapes that get a little weird, like you could rig when you're in pose mode. I'll usually do the center of the body and then change the shape of your bones and show the names and axes. Then just select the armature, tab into edit mode.
So I plan on plan on saving up and getting one of the new iPad Pros. And my thought behind it is a couple different things. So one, I want to have it so that way I can start writing some of the stories, right? Basically, like, be able to just have that, almost use it as like partly tablet, partly laptop kind of thing. So that way I can start writing the stories on there whenever I'm just out and about and just can do it. You know what I mean? Or just to have some ideas that I want to jot down. Once we get all this stuff up and going, I think we're really going to start transitioning more into this kind of style of content as well. What I would love to be able to do is kind of talk some ideas out, either about the lore stuff or game design and development in general, or whatever, with a speed sculpt going on in the background. So I'll basically be able to do some sculpting on the iPad, just like wherever, whenever kind of thing, and let that just make its own self into a video. And it's one of those things that I can push out and still have it be entertaining for people to be, and have people want to watch it without it taking up like all of the time, you know what I mean? Which is really, I'm trying to figure out how to manage my time better with all of it. So that's my thought anyway.
Of the bone, move them around with G, and extrude with E to place your bones. The thick end is the head, and that's where the bones will pivot from when you're in pose mode. I'll usually do the center of the body and then 1/2 if the model is symmetrical. You can get the bones close to the body by using snapping. I'll usually set it to...
How did he do that though? How did he have it where it was like with itself like that, you know? Did you see that? Bones. So he had it there, right? And then he had it where, so like this could go here. B-bone. Stick. And then he like, how did he make it so it like went to the other thing,
to the
though?
Body by using E to place your bones. The thick end is the head, and that's where the bones will pivot from when if the model is symmetrical. You can get the bone and then 1/2 if the model is symmetrical.
Oh, he shift D, but it like, it still is like parented to it though. How does that work? Huh? How is this like moving around with that though, you know?
You can get the bones close to the body by using snapping. I'll usually set it to face project and center. Then when you're moving around, you can hold control to snap, and you can adjust it from there. This is good for shapes that get a little weird, like you could rig tree branches more easily this way. You can also shift D to duplicate bones, parent bones with control P, either connected or keep offset, and you can unparent or disconnect bones with alt P.
I want it to be almost like a hinge thing here.
If your model is symmetrized, to copy all of those, just go into pose mode and select the bones you want, a bunch of separate objects. Select one that works for most of the model, but depending on the shapes you're using, you might have to clean it up with the more back into object mode, select the model, and then the armature, and parent with automatic weights. Then go back into edit mode, select everything, and scale up by 10 to return everything to its original size. This usually works for most of the model, but depending on the shapes you're using, you might have to clean it up with the more manual method that I showed before. Just make sure to remove the weights on the part you're selecting before you try to assign, otherwise you might get some overlapping weights. And to clear up small weight issues like this, you can try using this quantize option in weight paint.
Okay, I mean, I guess then that it just is going to work like that. I just need to do this and select this, go into pose mode, and then parent to bone, and then I guess select this, go into here, select this, and parent to bone. Then take this, select this, maybe edit mode, and then select this, and then select this, and connected. Oh, but that's got the wrong way. Oh, maybe that was my issue. It was the wrong way. Maybe that was it. Can I select you? Thank you. Okay, so now if I go into oh, what happened? Edit mode? Object mode. Huh. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why you're messing up. Interesting. Yeah, it's just instantly messing up here. I don't know why, though. Damn. This is frustrating. Okay, edit mode. Fuck me. Can I just... No, because it's going to be fucked up. It also sucks that whenever I fucking undo something that it takes 7 minutes before it actually undoes the fucking thing. Okay. So is it okay now? Okay, I'm going to... Maybe. I'm going to go into this mode. Edit. And I'm just going to delete this bone. Cool. And now it's gone. Fuck. Oh, fuck me. Okay. This thing is just breaking left and right. What am I doing now? I'm trying to add the bones to the hammer here. So that basically what I want to do is I want to add a bone to this ring. And then a bone for the hammer. So that way, like, it can swing off of this ring. You know what I mean? But the way that I imagine that this thing is to work is not actually the way that this thing is working. And it's taking a long time to undo what I need to undo. You know what I mean? I feel like if I select this and try to move this around, that's gonna just cause issue. Like how do I clear the parent? Parent, clear parent. Okay, so if I delete this now, is he going to fucking freak out? I feel like it's gonna freak out. Okay, it didn't freak out as much as I thought it would. That's fine. Let me save this real quick, actually. Does this mean you'll have to add bones to the cloths to give them physics? Apparently, Unreal Engine has, like, its own physics properties. So I don't know. I don't think so. Because Unreal Engine should take care of that. But there's certain things like this that I will need to add to it. You know what I mean? So, for right now, actually, here, let me turn this off. Because I think this is getting in the way as well. So, let's add another armature. Single bone. And I'm just going to add them both individually here. So, let's do in front. Let's name this bone hammer ring. Okay. Let's turn this on. Bam. Go edit mode. Drag this down quite a bit. So this will be in here, essentially. Let me turn off the hammer. Make sure this is actually just in the hammer ring. There we go. Okay. So now I should be able to just go bam, bam, and actually let me go bam, object, set origin to geometry. I can go bam, bam, control P, and do that with the bone. There we go. I turn off deform with this. Okay, and then I can turn the hammer on instead. Hammer, oh, wrong thing. Hammer. What's up, Zero? And I can add in another armature. Let's go to edit mode. Let's drag that there. Let's make sure it has the in front. Boop. And drag this here. And I'll want this to be in that area. And then this to be in about here. Although I think it needs to be the other way. I think it needs to be this way. I I think I might need to do the same thing with the other as well. I'm going to switch this over to stick so I can just see it better. So that is right there. And then this is right here. There we go. Object mode, take this and this. We're going to parent this to bone. And I'm going to make sure that this also has deform turned off. And I'm going to call this hammer. Select this. We'll go to edit mode. Going to put this over here. Put this down here. There we go. I think it rotated the ring around, but I'm not upset with that. The ring is kind of universal either way. It works out. Okay. So we got the hammer. We got the tongs done. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with the apron, because part of it, I want it to, like, react to the way that the bones are working for the skin here, but not all of it. You know? Not all of it. I gotta figure out how that relationship is going to work. Let me create a new collection here. And we'll call this Clothes Bones. Drag this in here. So this right here is hammer ring. We'll call it bone dot hammer ring. This will be bone dot hammer. Something happened to these guys over here. They're probably in this folder accidentally. Yeah. This here. Where are you guys at? Can I drag this in here without breaking things? And this is bone dot tongs. Okay, what about this guy? There we go. So right here is bone dot tong sheath. Oh, I also need to take this and parent it to bone. So that way this moves both of those things around, even though this can be separate, I guess. Oh, that's interesting. Is it? That's not the object, though. Odd. Median point. Oh, individual origins? No. Odd. How do I set that up to be the right thing? I don't know. Oh, maybe it needs to be pose mode, actually. Yeah, there we go. So now that's swinging on that. This swings. This swings up there. And then this swings right here. So that's fine. Cool. Edit. Let me lock object modes again. Okay. Nice. Okay, so that's all working properly right now. So we can save that. What else do we need to add in here? We could do the shoes, maybe. Or maybe pads? Maybe pads. Actually, hold on. Let me attach these things to where they need to go, maybe? No, because that needs to go to the belt. I do need to do the hammer belt. Okay, so here, let me add one for the hammer belt then. So, bam, armature. Go into here. bone, hammer, belt. Do this, bone, oh fuck. Bone dot hammer belt. Let's do in front. Let's do edit mode. Let's drag this up here. Drag this down here. Then I'm going to do volume snap. I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to put this up here. I think that'll be fine. Maybe a little bit lower, something like that. Just way so that way it stays pretty rigid. Also need to turn off object mode. Deform. Here we go. Bam, bam. Control P and parent this bone to that. Then parent this bone to. Ooh. Bam, bam. Control P. We need to parent this. How do I? Do I have to do this in pose mode? Control P. No. How do I keep the offset? Or do I need to keep offset? I guess I don't. I don't know if I'm setting this up correctly. I will fix it later. I'm just going to parent it right now. And I think I can fix it later. Right now, I think what's important is that I can move this around and it moves all of that stuff. Which it does. Okay, so that's good. I'm going to go with it. That is good. Okay, so we have those things now. Now, what else do we have that I can add in here? We have the pads. We have these pads and the other pads. With this, I'm going to delete all the groups. I don't know exactly how I want this to work, if I'm being honest. I feel like it does not need to morph as much. Gone on the grind, made it back to, made it plat, back to diamonds I go. Hey, good luck to you, Ralph. What grind, what game? Trying to figure out how much I want influence here. Can I undo that? Rivals? Oh, nice. Good shit, dude. Okay, so let's see. If I'm here and I'm rotating this around right now, ooh, it definitely deforms pretty odd. So I think what I need to do is I need to be in for this guy. So select this, we'll go to weight paint. And I guess for a lot of this stuff, we're just gonna get rid of it. And see how that works. I don't know if this is the right call. just to be safe. Okay. So, let's see, pose mode. Oh, it's because I have this on. Yeah, that's not looking right. I think the Forgeborn shouldn't be the primary threat. Have the main threat be something different than have the Forgeborn show up at a specific part of the game. For the horror game thing? It'd probably be the Keepers of the Flame kind of thing, to be honest with you. Super culty. Kind of like Outlast kind of thing. You know what I mean? That kind of vibe. Bam. Weight paint. So that has a lot of heavy influence. Let's try to smooth this out quite a bit. I want it to be shuffled on top of one another. I wonder if these need to just be separate pieces. You know? Pose mode, select all, bam. Let's take this object here, and I'm going to delete all the groups. I'm also going to take it, let's do this and separate it. So this is left pad top. And this is left pad bot. There we go. Okay, so I can select this and this, I think. No, this and this. Go into weight paint mode. And let me add this to favorites. Do transfer weights by name. You would separate them and play with collisions between them. That's what I'm thinking, Ethan. I've never worked with collisions though. That's where I'm a little bit out of my element. So I do need to figure that out. It changed color last time. I wonder if that actually did anything. It did not. Why did it not? What did I do wrong? I selected the rig. I selected this object here. Why did it not transfer the weights? What did I do wrong? I selected the rig. I selected the object. I go to weight paint mode. I do transfer weights by name. Maybe it's this? Nearest vertex? Instead? This worked last time. I don't know why it's not working this time. I was thinking a game where you play as someone who hosts their village to the Forgeborn and would need to learn to survive in the wild. Host their village to the Forgeborn? What does that mean? The main threat could be the wildlife, but at some point, list their village. Lost. Okay. Who lost their village to the Forgeborn and would need to learn to survive in the wild. The main threat could be the wildlife, but at some point. This worked last time, nearest face interpolated, but I don't see it working right now. I don't know why. You know anything about collisions, Ethan? By name. What am I doing wrong? This is exactly what I did before and it transferred it seamlessly. I don't know why it's not working now. What am I doing wrong? Do I have to do this? No, that doesn't make sense. This should transfer. But it's not. Yeah, none of it transferred over to the vertex groups here. Why? Weight paint. Transfer weights. I don't get it. Am I doing... What am I doing wrong? Transfer weights to close blender.
Let's fix this issue by going into edit mode, P and separate by selection, but still parented to the body. This instead of clear parent, select clear, now fully separated from the body. Finally, to transfer the weight, select the cloth, then the rig while holding shift. Press Ctrl P, then make sure to select with empty groups.
Oh.
Next, select only the body.
That might have been my issue. So, hold on. Select, bam, parent with empty groups. Then, bam, bam, weight paint, transfer weights by name, here's face interpolated. Object mode, just go back to here and pose. No, it's still not transferred. Why? Why?
Body, then the cloth while holding shift and switch to weight paint mode.
Oh, did that?
Click on the weights drop down, then select transfer weights. Open up this menu, then change source layers from active layers to by name, and that's it. Now head back to object.
Maybe just do nearest vertex again. Transfer weights, nearest vertex. But it's still not doing it right. I don't get it. You know, I think what I think a better question is, DK. What is your interpretation of the Forgeborn? I think that's more interesting to me. What is your interpretation of the Forgeborn? Weight paint. Transfer weights. This is right. What did I do wrong? Okay. I'm just trying to figure out why this isn't working properly. force of nature. If you had to describe what a Forgeborn was before the war and what a Forgeborn is now after the war, based off of the video, like the lore video, etc., how would you describe them before the war and how would you describe them after the war, presentation wise? Like if you had to describe what a Forgeborn looked like before and after the war, what would you describe it as?
Object mode, select the rig, and now, when you move a bone, the cloth also follows perfectly. Don't forget.
Just didn't seem to work. I don't know why. I followed it, but it doesn't seem to actually work.
What's up, guys? Post the shirt to select it. We can press this to P, and that is the shortcut to parent. And we want to parent this to empty groups, right? So once we have that, we're done with the parenting part. Now we need to select the character mesh by itself. And once you have this highlighted, we need to shift select the shirt. Then we're gonna go to object mode, then go to weight paint. And once we're done with weight paint, we're gonna go to the weights tab here at the top. Then we're gonna go to, where are you at? Transfer weights. So basically what we did was transfer the weight from the character to the same location of the shirt. And once you have that done, we want to go down to the bottom where it says source layers selection, change that from active layers to by name. And once we're done with that, we're actually done. So we'll go back into object mode, select your armature.
You see, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I'm doing what it tells me to do, and it just isn't working. But, like, why is it not working? You know? This doesn't make any sense to me. Why is it not transferring the weights properly? You always thought of them as constructs of some kind. What's up, Otter Nerd? How do you mean? I am really interested in y'all's interpretation of this. Constructs how? Why are you the way you are? Delete all groups. Delete all groups. Okay, so it has no groups. Taking this and this, and I'm going to parent it with empty groups. And then I can take this and this, and I can go into weight paint mode. And I go to weights, transfer weights, by name.
Once you have that done, we want to go to selection, change that from active layer by name. And once we're done with that, we're actually done. So
By name, all layers, nearest vertex. It just doesn't, it's not doing it. But I don't know why it's not doing it. Why is it not doing it? I'm so confused. I don't know what I'm doing incorrectly. Like, my head hurts. I did this earlier and it worked fine. Everything else was working. Like the other side, for instance, the right pads. Like if I start messing with this in pose mode, the right pads move. The left pads do not. Why do the left pads not work, but the right pads do? I don't understand. 𝐑𝐈𝐆𝐆𝐆, are you guys still there in the YouTube chat? Did you hear my question? Oh, it's moving with it. If it's moving with it, but why is it not move? Why are the weights not transferring? Weights won't transfer blender. They always give you the same vibe as the Warforged. Like, I don't know what the Warforged is. Like, there's something mechanical about them, but also divine, since it was a Forgeborn's death that led to the creation of the Lutrine, right? Ah, fair enough. Why do you have to be sleeping right now, Otter Nerd? You have work in the morning? Okay, so here, weight paint, transfer, all layers. At the bottom of your tool shelf, puts for source name. Destination. Yeah. I did that. So why is it not fucking working? The Warforged is the construct race from Dungeons and Dragons. Okay. Is your left pad attached to the same level as the rig as your right? Same level? What do you mean by that, Bigster? I actually don't know how to check that. So I selected this and I selected this, and when I parented, I did it with empty groups. So I'm deleting all groups here, right? So I selected this and I selected the rig here. And I did the parent with empty groups. And then I selected the rig and I selected this thing that I just parented the empty groups to. I went to weight paint, weights, transfer weights, made sure it's by name. What's up, Legion? Thank you for that. And then if I go back and I select the rig and go to pose mode, it doesn't transfer the weights. But I don't understand why it doesn't transfer the weights. I know it's user error. I just don't know why it's user error. You know what I mean? I don't know what the issue is. To give some context, by the way, DK and Otter, the Forgeborn are essentially corrupted races. They are the entirety of a certain race brought into one molten being, and that's what they are, right? So the Luchinarian Forgeborn died and just released the life essence that was held inside of it to give that Forgeborn life and release life back into the world as the Lutrine. Before the war, they were very Titan-esque, searching for their father, Oros. And then once they were defeated and they escaped prison, essentially, they changed their form to fit into the world better. So they're much smaller now. They're like, they adapted to their environment to try to fit the world better. Can you copy settings of the right side to the left? I don't know if I can. You're working on the clothing now? Nice. Yeah. Well, the clothing's been done. The rigging part is the part that's causing the issue right now, Nuggets. I don't know if I can. I don't know how to, rather. Can I separate this now? By selection. Bam. Okay, pose mode. I don't know if I can if I can copy the weights over kind of thing, you know what I mean? If there is a way to do it, I don't know how. You know what I mean? How the surfaces interact so they don't clip? Yeah, exactly. I gotta invest more time into this lore. Ask away, man. I really love it when people ask me questions about it, so you're not like messing up the vibe or anything. Are they like elements like iron, aluminum, other forged elements? They're essentially... So it's a corrupted version of that race, right? So if you notice in the lore video itself, if I go to the thing here, if I go to the Tale of the Smiths, right?
Come, young one. Let me
and I go to even just like, so that's out in the distance. It's kind of hard to tell what that is, right? But you can see here, like in the forest here, right? You see this as being one of the Forgeborn. And the design is intentional, like the antlers and everything. So you can kind of see like how this is a corrupted version of it. So there's a lot of humanoid elements to these creatures because they fall under the parent of the worldsmith Oros. And Oros is in charge of man. So when he took these creatures and corrupted them to become his own children, because they were other worldsmiths' children, when he took them under and they became what they became, they also inherited a lot of humanoid traits, which is why they have so much like of this human look to them, right? This doesn't do a really good job of it, I'm not gonna lie. But this one was very intentional.
fierce.
So it's that kind of idea. However, one of the you can see here as well after this is all said and done.
Alliance in shambles. The Forgeborn were able to escape their bonds and were released, taking new forms to immerse themselves in this new world.
They took new forms to immerse themselves in this new world. So you can see they went down to very like humanoid levels. Granted, this is a very base form of one. They would still have a lot of the features, such as the antlers, for instance, of this creature here. It would just be in a much more like smaller human size shape of it. But there's still the corrupted version of that thing. Very difficult to be able to kill overall, you know? But that idea. And then whenever one of these dies, that race is brought back into the world. There's only one race that cannot get brought back into the world, and it's because the Forgeborn that held that race had to be split in half. Essentially, its life force had to be split in half in order for Barite here to be brought to life, right?
Together to fabricate a weapon of their own.
So Barite is like a half-life, essentially, where he was created with half of the life of a Forgeborn to be put into him, like half a soul, essentially, right? And this was not enough for that Forgeborn to live off of. So the Forgeborn died, but not in a way that gave life back to the world, because Barite still holds on to that, right? So it effectively just completely killed off that race. I haven't really figured out exactly what that is yet, but I know that shape-shifting is a big part of it. So like changing form, I need to do some research into like what animals can change their form. And that's essentially what Barite will undergo. You know what I mean? And that's how we wind up with this guy. Is there no history tab like CAD, like boss, extrude, cut, and fillet for Blender? I don't know. I don't think so. If there is, I don't know where it is. How many Forgeborn are there? There's one for every race that the world had. But I don't have the answer for that right off the top of my head because I'm still developing that. So if Barite does, is that race brought, it dies, if that is that race brought to life? We'll never know. We'll never know. Do you have all this lore somewhere in one place, like a YouTube playlist? I have the video on YouTube, and we have a section in the Discord dedicated to lore. I do want to start making more lore videos, and this is kind of what leads into doing that type of stuff. And I'd like to do some more lore development streams, like all that type of stuff. I feel like by making this character, this guy here, and making it more like lore accurate, I can start really, I can just like, after I'm done dedicating my time to making this happen, I'll have enough knowledge to be able to start making cinematics and things like that as well. And we can have just lore streams, you know what I mean? The only issue that I run into is I need to figure out a way to be able to get people interested in it. I need to be able to find a way to be able to gain an audience from it. Because like you guys are here, but you guys aren't here because you found the lore and you're like, oh, that's cool. You're here because I'm doing some of this other stuff, and most of the time you guys found me through a game or like a video I uploaded about a game. So I don't really know how to make content around this stuff in a way that's interesting enough to get new people to join in the community. But yeah, navigating history is gonna navigate back and forth. Undo history menu. Oh, it's way back there. There's no way I'm gonna be able to find that. Like, no way I'm gonna be able to find that at all. This was done way back. I just don't understand why it's causing the issue that it's causing. It shouldn't. But it is. But they were split, so if they do come back when Barite dies, wouldn't they still be corrupted in a way? We don't know. We will not know the answer to that, Otter Nerd. That is a mystery for the universe. There's no answer for that. Maybe look what you did different. Well, that's what I'm saying is that, like, it's so far gone in the history that I'm not going to be able to find that. This is exactly what I did for that, which is why I'm confused, you know? I don't understand why it's causing the issues that it's causing, because it shouldn't. This has all the things with it. And I'm following this to a T. I'm so confused. I guess I could do that. This isn't completely accurate, but I don't know. Maybe it works. It's not the right thing, but it's a thing. I'm basically just selecting this, and I'm parenting with automatic weights, which is not the same as this side. So you can even see that in the pose mode when I do this. You can see how it's deforming differently, but I do like the way that it's deforming more than the other side. So I guess I'll just do it this way for right now, so I can figure out a real thing. You got a ballpark figure for how many races you'd want to make, or just general idea? More just a general idea. Really, so originally, is it difficult because there aren't other channels that do the same thing? Maybe, Cerberus. Yeah, it's kind of hard to base off of something because I don't know of another thing that does it, you know? So really what I need to do is find another channel that does this type of stuff. Maybe not, and then just add in the lore stuff as my own thing, as my own twist on it, you know what I mean? And I just gotta figure that piece out, I think. But I'm not sure yet, honestly. Yeah, so there's a race developed for every like thing that the world has, right? So for instance, the Lutrinae here are responsible for creating the rivers and streams of the world. That's their job. So different races have different jobs for how the world was created. And it all falls under their relationship to the parents. So there's 4 different world smiths, right? You have the world. Oh. You have the world. And then you have 4 different world smiths. You have Oros. You have I guess Ani. You have 𝐑𝐈𝐆𝐆𝐆. And you have 𝐸𝐆𝐆. Right? So Oros is in charge of man, and that's pretty much it. He is essentially related to fire. You have Ani, and she is related to the wind. You have 𝐑𝐈𝐆𝐆, and she is related to Terra, like earth, if you will. Ground, things of that nature. And then you have 𝐸𝐆𝐆, who is responsible for the water of the world, right? So 𝐸𝐆𝐆, so for instance, the Lutrinae would follow under 𝐸𝐆𝐆, right? But if you wanted to say have like the clouds in the sky, that would be something that would fall under the reign of Anyi. And say you wanted to have mountains, that would fall under the reign of 𝐑𝐈𝐆𝐆𝐹. And so basically the way that it works is that you have draw this up real quick. Essentially, you have this kind of system going right here, right? So you have 𝐷𝐈𝐆𝐆𝐹, which is essentially life itself, right? Oh, and then there's also, I guess, boom. And then this is just man. So essentially the way that this works, right, is that you have 𝐷𝐈𝐆𝐆𝐹, and this is life itself. This is the mother of mothers, essentially, right? So she gave Oros the responsibility of looking over man, and man takes 𝐷𝐈𝐆𝐹, the essence of 𝐷𝐈𝐆𝐹, life itself, and carries it out to all the children of these worldsmiths. So all these worldsmiths are also connected to 𝐷𝐈𝐆𝐹. These are 𝐷𝐈𝐆𝐹's children, right? So these are 𝐷𝐈𝐆𝐹's children, and then these are the children of 𝐷𝐈𝐆𝐹's children. And then these are the children of 𝐷𝐈𝐆𝐹's children's children. You see how all that works? So essentially, the Lutrinae are right here, right? And they're under the the Lutrinae, like, mother, essentially, like the deity of the Lutrinae. But even that is under Alkesh, who is the worldsmith. Does that make sense? Wasn't there a thing that made the worldsmiths as well? Yeah, that would be 𝐷𝐈𝐆𝐹. That'd be 𝐷𝐈𝐆𝐹 here. Essentially life itself. Your idea of the lore is closer to something like D&D Critical Role? Possibly. It's a family tree? Exactly. Exactly. Okay, I'm gonna have to play around with this, I guess, on another stream. I just realized what time it was. I'm definitely past the time. But yeah, that is where I'm gonna have to call it for today. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, there is a whole section in the Discord. It's under the town square, and it's the lore section here. And I know that I post like some updates as far as the otter stuff is concerned in here, but go check it out. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask it in here. I'd love to be able to answer those questions. Sometimes it makes me even think about new things that I didn't realize I even had to think about. But I would love to be able to talk to you guys more about it, answer some more questions, etc., etc. So definitely go check that stuff out. If you, yeah, like I said, love talking about that type of stuff. Love talking about that type of stuff. So I will see you guys guaranteed on Tuesday. I'm not exactly sure if I will be on this weekend or not, but I know that I will see you guys on Tuesday at 7:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will let you know if I do any other work in here as well, as far as getting this guy all rigged up and good to go. There is quite a bit that I do off stream to be able to make sure that I can like get an appropriate amount of time to be able to get him working. So I'll let you guys know how far I wind up getting with that. We don't really have a whole lot of people here, so I'm not going to do a raid, but I hope that you guys have a lovely rest of your night, a lovely rest of your weekend, and thank you so much for hanging out with me during all this type of stuff. I know that this isn't, this is very far from our usual programming of doing games and all that type of stuff, but I hope that you guys are enjoying this just as much, and maybe this is something that we look forward to for future streams. Yeah. So that being said, you guys have a lovely rest of your evening. I will see you all on Tuesday, at least, at 7 p.m. EST. And until next time, continue exploring, Smiths.